I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. So, MAGA extremist Marjorie Taylor Greene, who basically is the leader of the House of Representatives, tells Kevin McCarthy what to do. Well, she spent the entire day yesterday talking about farts. I'm not making this up. I had to really check her Twitter account, which was reinstated by Elon after it was previously suspended for spreading COVID disinformation and engaging in other heinous conduct. But I had to say, like, is this real? Did she really say this, or is this one of those things where like people Photoshop it? And I looked at it, and it's real. This is something that she really posted on social media. She wrote, "So many people still wearing masks. I just want to ask you, if a pair of underwear, really thick ones, high quality cotton, can't protect you from a fart, then how will a mask protect you from COVID?" So this is disturbing on so many different levels. It's disturbing because it's spreading again. COVID disinformation. That's what she's doing right away as she gets her account back from Musk. It's disturbing because this is a topic that she's talking about. It's disturbing that she is a leader of the Republican House of Representatives. This is who the Republicans are. And it's just a very disturbing and strange thing to be talking about as a political leader. And it's shocking that she's a political leader, but that is who the MAGA Republican Party is today. And so I want to show you some of the responses out there on social media to Marjorie Taylor's statements and comments and disinformation that she's spreading and her talking about farts. So this is Devram, who we've worked with here at the MeidasTouch network. And Devram writes, "I'm trying to read this any other way, but it sounds to me like Marjorie knows from experience that when people fart on her face, even with high-quality cotton underwear, she can still smell it." This is from Nathan Query, who writes, "Thank God she's not in charge of running a hospital and only in charge of, FUC. Here's Charlie Sykes, who writes, "Marjorie Taylor Greene has some deep thoughts." And here's someone named @transformedme, right? And here's one of our elected officials proving that she flunked middle school science class. This is from Bradley Moss, a national security lawyer who does great work and does some great posts on Twitter. Bradley Moss writes, "Kids, don't do drugs." And this is a post from Kimberly Johnson, who writes, "I'm guessing you have only 3 working brain cells, Marjorie Taylor Greene." And Jeff Teardrich writes, "Pro tip, don't take medical advice from people who don't understand how farts work." Marin Dungy writes, "This is a sitting member of Congress. America should just shoot itself and be done with it." And then Carrie Nation provides the scientific explanation. Carrie Nation writes, "Particles that trigger scent are smaller than viral particles, you absolute moron." Sylvester Tweedycat then writes, "This woman is professionally stupid." And then TLC Painting writes, "So many questions like who needs to be protected from a fart? The farter or the bystanders? Are farts killing people by the millions as COVID has? Are you effing serious with this dumb shit?" He writes. And then Shelley writes, "She has a point. No amount of high quality cotton can protect us from the aerosolized fecal matter that this woman spews." And Aussie Girl writes, "I don't know about you guys, but I don't know anyone who died from a fart." And Sujay writes, "FYI, Musk reinstated her account. We really need to thank him for bringing such gems back," sarcastically. And then HR Heather Rose had the exact same response as I did, which is, "Man, she really did tweet this. I had to check it out to make sure." And then Chaz Maz writes, even people who despise Trump are not going to fully appreciate just the permanent amount of harm he has done to America. Pre-Trump, this type of garbage like Marjorie Taylor Greene does not get into Congress. Pre-Trump, people like Smirkanish, his TV show, doesn't get callers who say that everything Nick Fuentes says is true. And I think it makes me reflect on the state of the current Republican Party. And we've talked about it a lot here on the MeidasTouch network. But the current Republican Party is the MAGA Republican Party. It is the party of the pillow guy, Mike Lindell. It is the party of Donald Trump. It is the party of Marjorie Taylor Greene, saying things like this. As Democrats are trying to be adults in the room, focusing on issues like healthcare, reducing prescription drug prices, making education accessible, fighting for workers, trying to raise the wage from a minimum wage to a wage with dignity, as Democrats are fighting for people's real freedoms, like a women's freedom over her body, as Democrats are fighting for bringing jobs back here in the United States and infrastructure and supporting our allies. MAGA Republicans are talking about farts. MAGA Republicans are talking about their love of North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un and Russian dictator Vladimir Putin. MAGA Republicans are literally posting QAnon memes. MAGA Republicans are spreading COVID disinformation. MAGA Republicans are spreading lies about elections. They're election deniers. MAGA Republicans are calling January 6th insurrectionists political prisoners. MAGA Republicans are calling for the abolition of the FBI. MAGA Republicans are calling for the repeal of any law that would hold Donald Trump accountable. MAGA Republicans are following a cult, a weird cult of Donald Trump, and do whatever Donald Trump tells them to do. MAGA Republicans are focused on those issues and don't talk about like issues that affect Americans. And that's why I highlight the contrast here. You want to look at what Marjorie Taylor Greene's posting and you want to compare it to what President Biden's posting and Nancy Pelosi's posting and Chuck Schumer's posting on the Democratic side. It's like, look, do I agree with everything that Democrats do? Do I agree with all of their policies? No. We disagree on a lot of things. But I do know that Democrats support our democracy. I do know that Democrats are adults in the room and that they are trying to solve difficult problems. And they're not talking about Mr. Potato Head and the green M&M's legs and Dr. Seuss and whatever culture war MAGA Republicans want to talk about as they pick your pockets and praise their undying loyalty to the cult of Donald Trump. Truly disgusting. That stinks. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit the subscribe button. We're on our way to 1 million subscribers thanks to your support. Also consider becoming a patron of the MeidasTouch Network. Go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Lots of exclusive content you can only get there, but most importantly, help grow this independent media platform. Till next time, I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network.
MeidasTouch is unapologetically pro-democracy. And look, we know you are too. So please make sure you check out our best-selling shirt and our best-selling gear, the unapologetically pro-democracy gear. And hey, while you're at it, make sure you check out my favorite shirt and one of our most famous designs. It wasn't rigged, you're just a loser. At store.meidastouch.com. That's store.meidastouch.com.